wish I worked at that PWSP. I wish I worked at that PWSP. Go through that magical door on the second floor to see the coordinators we all adore. I wish I worked at that PWSP. I wish I worked at that PWSP. Whether you're working at Grant or water processing plant, you know they'll get you to where you need to go. That's right.
Welcome back, Cristo Rey family, to another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Jay Sean, and we have very special guests here today. We have the staff and the people that overlook the professional work study program in our school. And would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Sure, yeah. My name is Miss Muchler. I am the Director of Operations for the Work Study Program. I am starting my 9th year at Cristo Rey. I love working here. I love working with our students and our business partners, and I'm excited for an awesome year with everyone.
My name is Miss Martin. I am the Director of Sales for the Work Study Program. I am starting my 5th year here at Cristo Rey. My first class graduated in May, so it was very bittersweet for me. I love working at Cristo Rey because it combines my two passions around business and education. Looking forward to a great 23-24 school year.
Hello everyone, it's Miss Miller here. I am Assistant Director of the Professional Work Study Program. I have been at Cristo Rey for 5.5 years now, and I spent most of my summer perfecting my TikTok dance moves. So when you ask us to be in your TikToks, we're ready.
And by we, Miss Miller means her. Hi, everyone. This is Miss Sprayberry here. I am a relationship manager in the work study office. This will be my 5th school year at Cristo Rey. My favorite thing about being a cougar is that I double as the cheerleading coach. So I like to keep the school spirit up. And then lastly, the last relationship manager in our office, Mr. Holt, couldn't join us today. So you should stop by our office on the 2nd floor so you can meet him.
Okay, guys, so before we dive into PWSP or the work study program as a whole, could you guys maybe elaborate a little more on your individual positions as well, so new students and freshmen will be able to kind of know for certain situations who they necessarily might have to reach out to or talk to?
I think that's a really good question. This is Miss Martin. As the Director of Sales, my primary job is to find the jobs that all students will attend during their tenure, during their time here at Cristo Rey Columbus High School. So I talk to a lot of people. I attend a lot of events. You all will see me in the hallways with guests who are coming in to tour the school. They will want to meet students because they are looking at coming on as job partners. Those job partners are varied in that we have government job partners, city, state, and county. We have accounting firms, law firms, insurance companies, nonprofits, almost anything that you can think of, we have, and we are ready to serve you.
Hello, Cristo Rey Columbus. This is Mrs. Johar, your resident social studies teacher and labor movement enthusiast. I'm delighted to speak with you a bit about the national holiday coming up on Monday, Labor Day. To set the scene, let's think about what the labor movement is and how it was born. Back in the 1700s and 1800s, the Industrial Revolution ushered in a period of global transition. People stopped making everything by hand as machines were invented that could do the work faster. Factories popped up across Europe and industry spread to the rest of the world, including to the United States. Without legal protections for workers in place, working conditions in factories were dangerous, the hours were long, and pay was low. Workers banded together, formed unions, and organized strikes and other collective action to bargain with their employers for better wages, working conditions, and less time working, and to convince the government to pass laws protecting workers. They showed that there is truly strength in numbers. Labor Day was declared a national holiday by President Grover Cleveland in 1894 in response to the Pullman strike, a nationwide protest that resulted in better federal laws protecting workers. Since then, the labor movement has continued to fight for dignity for workers. Labor organizers played a key role in the civil rights movement. They organized the March on Washington, where Dr. King gave his I Have a Dream speech in 1963. Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta led a movement to unionize farm workers in California, giving a voice to many undocumented Mexican-born laborers who had been mistreated by landowners for decades. The heart of the labor movement is dignity, and the Catholic Church recognizes its importance by highlighting the dignity of work and the rights of workers as one of the 7 themes of Catholic social teaching. Workers are human beings who deserve to be treated well. Fighting for fair wages and good working conditions, and fighting against income inequality and corporate greed is something that I think most people can get behind. Right now, Hollywood actors and writers are on strike. A great way to get into the Labor Day spirit would be to search online for how to support the actors and writers of your favorite shows as they bargain for fairer contracts with the TV studios and streaming companies they work for. To celebrate Labor Day, first and foremost, enjoy the day off. Time away from work was something that labor organizers fought hard for, and they're still fighting for. Happy Labor Day.
And this is Ms. Muchler. So as the Director of Operations, my main job is to make sure that all of you are placed in job placements and that your day-to-day job experience is going great from start to finish, so that I arrange your transportation routes, make sure that everything is going well for you in the morning, and then making sure you get back safely in the afternoon. Another thing that I do is I have some businesses that I work with the students who work at those businesses, and so I coach the students, you, and make sure that I am your link between school and work, so that any questions you have about either, I'm here to answer. So please come to my office whenever you have a question, or even if you just want to chat about anything. Or tell me a joke, because I love jokes.
All right, Ms. Miller here again. As Assistant Director, actually that's a brand new title, so we're still figuring out what that entails, but I'll be taking things off of Ms. Muchler's plate as the Director of Operations, so that's exciting for the school year. I also will be a relationship manager, so I have about 30 of our businesses on my business partner list, and that means that I am the go-to person from Cristo Rey that they will contact if they have any questions. So if you, for example, work at Bricker Graydon, that means that you are on my list, they are my partner, and I am your PWSP person as well. So I make sure our partners are happy and our students are happy as well.
Broken record over here. This is Miss Sprayberry. You've heard from my lovely colleagues that relationship managers have their own roster of businesses. So I also manage a roster of businesses, which means I coach the students that are at those businesses. I have certain businesses on my list like Ohio Health or the Columbus Museum of Art. So if you are at some of those locations, we'll make sure that you know each and every one of us and who your specific relationship manager is. So if you have specific questions about your job, you'll know exactly who to go to, and we'll tell you that on the first day of work.
So when you guys are with or looking at potential companies to partner with Cristo Rey, do you guys have a certain criteria that you guys follow, or how do you go about selecting or choosing companies that you feel like would be a good fit in terms of partnering with Cristo Rey?
Jay Sean, that is an excellent question. So one of the things that I do when looking at a prospective business partner, we want to make sure that that partner can actually host student workers, that they are willing to invest their time and their energy into coaching and mentoring our young scholars at this school. We want to ensure that those partners are able to provide meaningful work for all of you that are going to work, because as you all know, and for those of you that are new, we are the school that works. And so going to work 5 days a month is really important to us. Now, in addition to that, we also want partners where we can grow our footprint. So you heard Ms. Sprayberry talk about Ohio Health. As a hospital system, they had a couple of teams with us, and they continue to grow with us. And so those make really ideal partners. Healthcare is the number one request that we get from our students. And if we had over 400 jobs in healthcare, we would be really good. But we have to spread that out, and I think we do a really great job of having a lot of job partners in a number of industries.
Hello, I am Dr. Bumpus, new this year to Cristo Rey as the school psychologist. I want to share a mindfulness thought with you today. Take a moment to reflect on how mindful or how aware of your thoughts and feelings you are on a daily basis. Increasing mindfulness can lessen your stress, help you focus your attention, give you more choices and control over your behavior, and increase compassion for others. My office is on the 4th floor, room 421, and I'll be in the building on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Come stop by and say hi. Have a great week.
For freshmen who are coming in and maybe a little anxious or nervous about their first job placement, can you guys tell them about some things they can look forward to in order to relieve some of the anxiety they may have?
Sure, I'll start off, and then I'm sure that Miss Miller and Miss Sprayberry have some great tips as well. One thing that I want to reassure everyone about is that it is very normal to feel nervous about your first day of work. I think everyone, no matter how old or young you are, you feel nervous when you're starting a new job. So that is perfectly okay. And as Miss Martin said, we're very careful with who we choose to be partners with us. So you can rest assured that the supervisors that you're working with are really excited to work with you, and they care about you, and they're really interested in getting to know you. And they have nothing but success in mind for you. So they want the best for you. So I'll just start off with like that, to just kind of think about that on your first day, that my supervisor is thinking the best and wanting the best for me on the job.
That's very true. And I think at this point as a freshman, you've been through summer business training, you've been to draft day, you've been to worksite orientation. So having all of those experiences under your belt will hopefully add confidence when you walk in on your first day. So you've been through summer business training, you've been through draft day, you've attended worksite orientation, and all of those experiences helped build you up to this point. So having confidence in yourself and believing in yourself as much as we do, I think will help you on your first day of work.
Miss Miller really took the words right out of my mouth. I was just thinking about how a lot of times our students are really uncomfortable or, insecure about their first day of work because they don't feel prepared. But we're here to remind you in our office that you are prepared. You had the training. You went to summer business training. You have the tools. You have the resources. That's why you have your summer business training workbook. Take it with you. You took great notes for a reason. Use your resources. Don't be afraid to use your voice. Ask good questions and make sure that you feel comfortable and confident communicating what you need at work. That would probably be my biggest tip to anyone who feels nervous about their first day.
And if you need any help, please come to the PWSP office. We are always there for you. So please come see us.
And who knows, there might be some treats in our office that you can have on your way.
All right, so we know that one very important aspect of professionalism is behavior, not only just for the freshmen, but maybe for any other grades that, may need a reminder just on how we should conduct ourselves. What is the behavior standard that we should be when we are at our work sites?
I think if you think about the definition of professionalism is respecting yourself and others, and if you start from that definition, and so you think about each thing that you're doing, am I respecting myself? Am I respecting others? Then that's what you need to know. That's a baseline that you can always rely on and check in with yourself about.
I think keeping in mind too that you're always representing Cristo Rey Columbus High School, and that you are cougar even beyond our walls. It's something that is important to keep in mind at work. So just maintaining your professionalism, like Ms. Muchler said, and being courteous and respectful, just like you would at school on a normal day.
Yeah, and I think a big thing that we're going to talk about throughout the school year is what does it look like to protect your professional image? For some of you, you might be the youngest person in your office. I'm sure you will be. And so it can be challenging for people, especially for our young people, to think, what does it look like to create a professional image for myself? Using that definition like Ms. Muchler discussed. So thinking and checking in with yourself, how am I going to be perceived if X is happening or Y is happening? And how would I I like to be perceived? And what can I do in order to move toward how I would like to be perceived rather than a negative perception? And that's what it looks like to protect your professional image. So we really want to empower our students, no matter what grade level that you're in, to think critically about your own actions so that you can check in with yourself and make sure that you're self-monitoring your own behavior at work.
Hey guys, your girl Icy here. August 22nd was draft day where we found out where our job placements are. I was there live, recording the reactions as it happened. Here we are in homeroom waiting to go over to the library. So I'm here with a couple of students. You guys could go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Braden and I'm in the 10th grade.
I'm Jefferson and I'm in 10th grade. I'm Cesar and currently on sophomore.
So how do you guys feel about draft day?
I'm very excited for it. I just hope I get a good job.
It's an exciting day to find out what job we're gonna get. Like last year, the job placement I got, I made really good relationships with a couple of my coworkers. So I'm excited to see what's coming next.
I'm excited also. Like I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen next. Like last year, it was an amazing year for me. I grew so much in the company I had, and I'm waiting for the next adventure.
What are you guys looking forward to in your new job placement?
I'm excited for a fresh start, and hopefully that can set me up for good things in the future.
I'm excited to learn new things, make new relationships with my coworkers, and just learn skills that'll be useful in my future career.
I want to grow up as a person and also learn more for my future careers and make bonds with my coworkers and supervisors.
After all the anticipation, we headed over to the library for the ceremony where all was revealed.
It is my honor to say the Cristo Rey Columbus Draft Day for 2023 is officially open.
Once we found out our job placements, we sat down with our supervisor for a meet and greet.
Hey, it's Braden again, and I just got out my job day, and I work at the school's employees retirement system. And I'm very excited for this opportunity, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Hello, I'm Brad Skeen. I work for School Employees Retirement System. We are a retirement system that for anyone who works at a school that is not a teacher, their money comes to us, and at the end of their time, we pay them a benefit. Excited to work with Cristo Rey. We've been partners for at least 6-7 years now, so excited to work with Braden here.
All in all, it was an exciting day. Good luck with work next week.
You know, myself included, there's been days where I've went to my professional work study program and I didn't necessarily feel the best mentally in terms of having a can-do attitude. So can you give some tips on how students can motivate themselves and be able to still be productive on them days where they might not feel the best or might not feel like they can even really be 100% respectful or really just following the procedure at work?
You know, Jay Sean, again, that's another good question. And believe it or not, we all have days like that. Whether it's one of the teachers at the school or the work study team, our president, our other staff members, we all experience those days. When you have those experiences, being able to stop and know that you can start over at any time during the day is really important. Take a moment and go drink some water and get those red blood cells moving so that energy can flow throughout your body. Remember, it is a day. If it becomes too overwhelming, then you want to talk to your supervisor, or you want to make sure you're talking to your relationship manager, or to Miss Muchler, or to me, so that we can help give you some strategies that help to make that day better. Always make sure to check in with us in the morning and tell us how you're feeling, how you're doing. And then when you all return from work, when you check in, let us know how the day went. Because if it didn't get better, we can certainly help you figure out how to make the next day much more productive.
Okay, so just to give some new students kind of an idea of some of the places they can work and some of the careers they can explore, can you give us maybe just a bit of the different jobs and companies that Cristo Rey has to offer in the work study program?
Sure. I'll start. Y'all jump in. It's a long list. We have over 125 business partners this year, starting with the Adjutant General. They work with ROTC folks and our military. American Electric Power. They were a former business partner. They have underwritten jobs, which means that they couldn't host students, but they were able to provide funding for us to send students to other organizations. They will be hosting students in person this year. We have nonprofits like the Lincoln Theater, the Columbus Museum of Art. COSI is a big partner. Columbus Humane. A lot of students will be going to work throughout the state of Ohio if you want to talk about that, Ms. Mutchler.
Yeah, so we have a lot of jobs that are with state agencies. The governor is a big fan of Cristo Rey, and as a result, there are many different types of jobs in government. So if you're interested in a career there, you could work at places like the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency, the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Ohio Department of Agriculture, the Ohio Office of Budget and Management. There are just many, many jobs that we have with the government. We have some really exciting new partners this year. Cameron Mitchell Restaurants is one of our new partners. We have some new hospital jobs that are out there that'll be exciting for some of your students.
Hey guys, it's Jade. Back to School Night will be happening September 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. This is a great opportunity for your parents to meet your teachers and have any questions about your new school year answered. Additionally, Ms. Grassinger will be there for a special session about college application and enrollment process. Don't let your parents miss it.
Anybody else want to highlight some new partners or some existing partners?
Sure. City Barbecue is a partner, so we're at their corporate headquarters. They came on recently in the past year or two. White Castle is also a professional work study partner. We have, like Ms. Martin said, the Columbus Humane Society. We have banks like Huntington. We have law firm. Ms. Sprayberry has a lot of medical placements that she supervises, if you want to talk about that.
I would love to. I work with the Ohio Health Hospital System, so there are going to be 8 students who are working at Riverside this year. Several students will be at Dublin Methodist Hospital as well. We're going to be working with the James, that's OSU's hospital network, and Ms. Mutchler manages the Mount Carmel Hospital Network. There's a lot of really great hospital placements that are doing several different things, between being in the emergency department to doing some patient transport and helping out in the pharmacy as well. So we have a lot of high variety within our medical placements that I manage specifically. I also want to take a second. If you are on the first floor of our building, you are going to see a plaque on the left-hand side across from the main office that highlights our partners who've been with us since Cristo Rey Columbus started. So one of my partners who's been with us since Cristo Rey Columbus started is Kimball Midwest, and they host 12 students, and they are a fantastic partner of ours and give our students a lot of mentoring and a lot of coaching. So I also just want to highlight, we've had businesses that have been with us since the beginning, and they really value our students.
And I will say that with that variety in jobs, one thing that most of our jobs share is that they are professional office setting type of jobs for the most part. So rest assured that wherever you are placed, you are going to receive job training and job skills that you're going to be able to transfer to the career that you are really interested in. So whatever job you're placed in, you're going to learn very, very valuable skills that are going to really transfer well and prepare you for college and career. Jay Sean, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm really curious to hear this from your perspective. So you have been a student in the work study program for 3 years now, and you are going into your final senior year. Can you tell us a little bit about your job placements and kind of what you learned from them and what you're hoping for this year?
So my freshman year, which by the way, just in case anybody didn't catch it, I am a senior. I will be a rising senior, so this will be my last year in the professional work study program. But during my freshman year, we were still at the heart of COVID. So I was actually, we had YPI at the time, which was just a little bit different than PWSP. But the primary focus of that was to give us experience with Excel and, just give us knowledge and teach us on how to properly use Excel and spreadsheets and very important documents that are very common within the workforce today. And even we were given the ability to take, I want to say, the Excel exam. I was not so fortunate to pass, but it was still a great opportunity nonetheless.
Hey guys, it's Nishan. Although we all start work next week, let's not forget that the freshmen already got a taste of work life. A week before the rest of us came back to school, the freshmen participated in summer business training. Here's a freshman to explain what that was like.
My name is Anaya. My first week at Cristo Rey was challenging. I made lots of new friends. I learned about filing, how to use a printer, and I learned professionalism. I had lots of fun.
Sophomore year, when I was in 10th grade, I worked at the Mid-Ohio Food Bank, and that was a nice, different experience for me. I was in the accounting department, so I often handled the finances that were exchanged between the Mid-Ohio Food Bank and other nonprofit organizations. And sometimes I was able to go down to the pantry and set up carts directly for families who may needed food. So that was a pretty nice experience to also know, that there's people who want to help people who may not be as fortunate and, just play your part in the world. And then when I was in 11th grade, which was my previous year, I worked at the Ohio Department of Agriculture, and it had a blend of things, but ultimately, what I really took from there was just how the government is trying to protect consumers, whether it's through plants, whether it's through produce, what you get on your plate, preventing all these type of diseases from reaching your plate. So that was pretty nice as well. I ended up being in two departments. One was more centered around consumer protection, which was to make sure that, the meats you eat, the dairy you take, isn't infected or infested with any harming things that could harm you or your families or get you sick or worse. And then I shortly transferred over to the animal department, which on my end, I really focused on horses, but overall, they tied into making sure that animals were okay and making sure that the environment and diseases aren't reaching animals. So then in turn, the animals that we consume won't infect us with bad things.
Hey everyone, it's the one and only Emily here, and this is the start to a new year, and I am ready for it to already be over with these 4 AP classes I have. But this year is quite different for me, because now I'm a senior. I can't believe so much time has passed already. It feels like it was just yesterday when I was a freshman walking into school back in 2020. And speaking of freshman year, I remember the first time I ever participated in school mass. Over Zoom. It's crazy how just last week was the first mass of my senior year. It reminded me of how this was truly going to be one of the last time I'll be around every single student, staff, and faculty all at once. It really does put into perspective how fast time can fly and how we really need to appreciate the present. Because in an instant, it can wisp by you and you won't even notice.
As far as things I hope or would like out of PWSP, honestly, the program has been really great for me. I feel like it's exposed me to a lot of opportunities. And, there may have been some days where I might not have felt my best, but overall, the work study program is a great experience. I encourage all Cristo Rey students to fully take advantage of every single day that you get to work there and, just really give your best most of the time, even if your best might be 75%, just give it everything you got within each moment and take advantage of it. And and don't be afraid to use the work study program to explore potential careers that you would like to go into when you reach college. So
Jay-Sean, that was amazing.
Jay-Sean!
That was incredible. Thank you so much for that thorough answer, an incredible answer. That makes us feel really great as work study staff who are supporting you all. We think it's a wonderful program, and thank you for those words.
No problem. Well, I would like to thank you guys for working hard behind the scenes. I know that many students, including myself, may not get to see on a daily basis the process it takes to even have the privilege to work at these different companies and businesses. But I just want to say thank you, and I'm really personally grateful to have this opportunity, and none of it would have been possible without you guys. So yeah, I just appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to seeing future students being able to join the program and, hopefully benefit from it as much as I have.
PWSP on 3, 1, 2, 3, PWSP!
PWSP!
PWSP.
PWSP!
Well, Jay Sean, I just want to say personally that I've never been at a job for longer than 3 years in my life. And this one, as I mentioned earlier, I'm starting my 9th year, and it's because of wonderful students that go to this school. I just really love being here because of you all.
PWSP loves you all.
We are so excited for a great school year with you guys, and we can't wait to get to work.
It is by no small feat that you are here. You have been chosen to be here because you are great!
So that wraps up this episode of the Cristo Rey podcast. Stay tuned for next week's episode, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye, Cristo Rey family.
PWSP, yeah. I wanna work at PWSP. I gotta work there. PWSP, oh yeah. Cause frankly, I think they make more money than me. PWSP, yeah. I wanna work at PWSP. I gotta work there. PWSP, oh yeah.